Shiggy here, right here, yay, G-Unit. Welcome to another GTA 5 car episode. Today with the Truffade Z-Type or Z-Type going against Lampadati Casco or Casco, however you guys want to pronounce it. It's actually sort of a wasp going against out-of-date French stick. Also, we found out a new way to test out durability, which is pretty awesome, suggested by Picano, as well as a lot of you guys in the previous episodes. Now we're pretty much set for the future episodes and what we're going to revamp that we've already done. That was based on my opinions and all more of a factual way. So expect to see that in the future as we thoroughly going through this and working hard on getting these episodes out. Now, of course, starting off with the handling with the Z-Type or the Z-Type. Basically, this actually, you know, in the game it states that it's extremely light. So technically, a lot of people think, you know, it should be easy to maneuver around corners, but that's not the case. When it comes to this car, yeah, fair enough. When you're doing stunts, you know, it gets quite a bit of air given its top speed. But the essentials behind handling is that this car obviously wants to understeer and oversteer, and oversteer is quite unpredictable, obviously, given that the weight is on the front. So you know, the rear wants to stick out every time, and then obviously understeer is quite heavy as well. Whereas the Casco is quite balanced. It's quite balanced between the two, although both these cars do have that understeer and oversteer, and this one in particular has got that inside tire skid. But generally speaking, like I mentioned in my previous commentary, the Casco actually is better overall because of its turning circle and how nimble it is, easy to maneuver. Also, acceleration, you can see there, it's insane. From the point at which it launches and goes off, it takes about a total of 18 seconds for the Z-Type to actually keep up and you know, end up catching up and then overtaking with its top speed. So 18 seconds is what we figured out there, which is crazy, you know. Of course, also considering the fact that, you know, handling is worse on the Z-Type, so taking it around corners can take a little bit of time. So taking that off along with its 18 seconds that, you know, having to catch up from the acceleration of Casco, it really gives you a perspective of how these two would do around a track. And if you given a track with a lot of corners and a straight that's not more than 18 seconds, the Casco can really compete with the Z-Type, and that's what we're gathering here today. Now, of course, another thing with the Casco here, also producing more torque over the Z-Type itself, meaning that uphill sections of any track, you know, the Casco will certainly pull away even with its upper hand with its acceleration. So that's quite insane, you know, because the Z-Type itself actually generates the power quite slowly. So when you shoot out a corner, it takes a little bit of time for the top speed to kick in, given that it's a horrible acceleration. So and that's what makes the Casco actually really competitive against the Z-Type. So it's going to be interesting. Now, obviously, for this particular test, what we've done, got ambulance. That's what I'm going to use every time for the rest of the episodes in the future, and hit them 3 times against these cars from covering the same distance between each other. So acceleration won't play a part between the two. So it's extremely fair test. And then we sort of analyze the visuals from this point and really see which one took more damage and make a judgment between the two. And of course, we came to the conclusion that the Z-Type is more durable in this case over the Casco, and that was quite logical as well. Seeming that, you know, just general sort of body and size and weight considered as well, and just the way the Casco is quite vulnerable given all those factors. So lap time test, this was interesting. This is where, you know, technically speaking, this particular track, not many straights for the Z-Type's top speed to kick in, but considering the Z-Type's handling is also worse than the Casco as well, just about, although both of them have that similar sort of response when it comes to taking a corner, but you can actually take a corner quickly when approaching and shooting out. You know, with the Casco over the Z-Type and Z-Type, it's quite difficult to do that as quickly as possible. You have to really be patient with it and take it around, try to carry that speed but brake, and you know, sometimes if you try to push that extra little bit, you know, the rear would stick out. So the recovery on the Z-Type is not really that, you know, quick or great as opposed to the Casco. If you do make a mistake, you can actually recover and carry on quickly. So all of that, you know, with this insane acceleration, shooting out and carrying that speed, although it can feel rigid at times with the Casco, where you feel a little bit uncomfortable in certain situations, but you can certainly activate the turning circle by letting the car roll in, but braking hard as well. The trick with the Casco is to brake hard and really be patient with the nose of the car, making sure you turn it into the apex as quickly as possible, but making sure that, you know, getting the brakes right, because if you brake late and then trying to turn, the understeer will definitely kick in. But then if you're trying to brake and turn at the same time, you'll also oversteer. So that's what sort of the similarities are with the two, but you're able to react to situation quicker with the Z-Type, provided that it's quite a big, sort of less responsive car. So really, it's how you perceive the two, what's your preference, how you like it. But it was extremely close with the lap times. You can see this pretty much is so average out on most of the tracks we tested. Anyway, they came about a few milliseconds close to each other. So it's 3 millisecond difference there between the two, but of course it's extremely track dependent. Certain tracks that suit the Z-Type more with its top speed, obviously the gap would extend, but then again it's completely situational, completely depends on the driver as well, how patient they are with these cars when they use it. And at the end of the day, you know, although the Z-Type takes it, but what we learned from this video is the Lampadati Casco is certainly a competitor against the Z-Type, and of course you are given a lot more freedom with the nimbleness of the Casco provided by its turning circle and its size and weight. So that's pretty awesome. Obviously its acceleration as well. But remember, both these cars do require a lot of paying attention to. You know, it's not easy with either one of them. Both of them have their own, you know, things to look out for and control, because, you know, if you do make a mistake, both cars can just snap on you. That's where a lot of patience is involved. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. Of course, I'll be doing a quick classic going against the Casco after this, so expect to see that, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. So you sign out. Good night, peace, yay.